Paul Kagame. I spoke about Paul Kagame. I said Paul Kagame is a threat to Africa, and Africans must not trust him because he's trained by the Americans at Fort Leavenworth to be a mercenary of the Americans, like what he's doing in Congo, where he keeps invading for Congo to be looted for its resources. I also spoke about the fact that he came into power by starting the Rwandan genocide and getting his own soldiers, the RFP fighters, to murder Rwandese so that he could then come in like Superman and act like he's defending the people of Rwanda until he got into power.
Okay. Stop. Anyway, here's the thing. You know, it's very easy to blame someone for being a dictator just because they're in power. Yes, some things go wrong. Some things, I understand. But let's get the facts right. First of all, the civil war in Rwanda was not led by Kagame per se. Kagame was like second in command. It was led by a man called Fred Rijema. You get? But unfortunately, at the beginning of the war, he died. You get? Like the commander died at the beginning of the war. So I think even Baingana died around there. So basically the commanders were, the top commanders died. So the followers, of course, were disorganized. They lost the war as it has just begun. But Kagame, the second in command, was in the United States. That is correct. He was in the United States finishing his education. So he had to come back to actually lead the war. He had to stop halfway through his education to come back to lead the war. Now, I am quite sure that this guy is blatantly lying, like lying. You get, like, it saddens me that someone can lie to this extent about something that actually took people's lives, like a lot of people. Because, first of all, during the Civil War, the RPF or the rebels that Kagame was leading, they never had an upper hand at any one point. Never. These guys were like close to 20,000. The army of Rwanda was like close to 40,000. Then they had 2,000 French soldiers on their side. The UN was on their side. Zaire was on their side. The fact that the Rwandan government lost the war is a display of incompetence, like pure incompetence in leadership. Because think about it like this. After the Arusha Accord, or Accords, whatever they called them, Rijema and Kagame were in contract, like, okay, let's stop the war. Let's bring about peace. Our country should move on like this and that. There's a lot in those accords, but let's not go through them today. I just want to show you that this guy is lying. I've told you, the RPF did not have an upper hand. Militarily, they were weaker. You get? In numerical numbers, they were weaker. They were smaller. You get? They were fighting on the side. They were majority Tutsis. So, in the population, they are less than 20%. I'm sure they are like 15% or something like that. So they didn't have the money the government had. Basically, they had nothing. They had nothing to beat the government with. Nothing. But you see, after the accords, you had some extremists in the government that never wanted the Tutsis to get back. You get? Now remember, the Tutsis are Rwandan. I don't care what you think about Kagame, but the Tutsis are Rwandan. Whether you like them or not, they are Rwandan like the rest of the Rwandans. You get what I'm saying? But there were people in government that did not want them to return. And you see, now that's where the problem comes from. So when Habyarimana signs these accords to allow them to return, they did not like that. Now you see, here's the funny thing about extremism. The leader of the extremists was Habyarimana's wife. Now it's funny that Habyarimana was not even man enough to put his wife in check. It's weird, because this woman put the country into a genocide, just like that. This woman, coupled with stupid people that thought that the country is theirs, God gave them this land, and whatever they wanted should go ahead. You get what I'm saying? So, you have extremists that don't like the deal, but even the RPF I'm not saying they liked Habyarimana. They neither did they like him, because he wasn't part of them and he was against them. So when Habyarimana dies, the question is here: who gains from Habyarimana's death? So now that's where the question is: who gains from Habyarimana's death? Because I want you to understand, like I told you, Kagame does not have, or let's take it in the past tense, he did not have the numerical numbers with him in terms of the army. He did not have the numerical numbers with him in terms of the population. He did not have the money on his side. He did not have the international community on his side. Some people may say the United States and everything, but remember, the United States did not necessarily engage in this war directly. But you had French soldiers on ground. You had the Zaires, the likes of, it was called Mobutu, Sese Seko, on the side of Habyarimana. You had the population on the side of Habyarimana. So I don't see how Kagame was gaining from the genocide. Because if you kill a Hutu, when all those forces are against you, how do you explain to me that such a person would come and save the world as Superman, when he was clearly going to be the villain in case anything stupid happened? So you need to reason before you even begin to, like I've told you, it's easy to judge someone because they are in power. If Kagame lost that war, I don't think this guy would be here speaking these things. No. But because he won, everyone assumes that, oh, he must have had some kind of, master plan and everything. But the truth of the matter is, we need to spread peace and a message of hope and loving between the Rwandans. Because, let's face the facts, such a message that these people here, the one that I just played, they are spreading a message of hate. They are taking back the country to the whole problem of hate. And that's not a good thing. That has never been a good thing. It will never be a good thing. You need to understand that whatever happened in the genocide was absurd. Absurd. And whatever happened, you need to understand that logically, if you are to use logic, quit this whole imprisonment and slavery type of mentality. Use your logic. How was Kagame gaining from Habyarimana's death? When even, think of it like this, I had him talk about an election. Kagame came in as vice president. He wasn't the president. Of course, someone will say de facto, that crap. But he came in as vice president. If he really wanted power like you claim he did, well, my president, the great warrior, the big man, Museveni, he was given the choice to become a president, to become vice president and all those things, and he threw them out of the window. His main issue was to be head of state, nothing less. You get? Now that is a man who wanted to be leader, who wanted to be president at any cost. So, it's different. Kagame became vice president. I think he became president in 2000. Some people don't even know that Kagame was vice president at one time. Because you're so much imprisoned in this foolishness of, yes, Kagame is a dictator. Listen, never argue with success. Never. You get what I'm saying? If his leadership has made changes, you need to appreciate the changes. Yes, there are problems. And I'm not stopping you from talking about the problems. Because everyone ought to be talked about. If you have problems, we need to talk about them, because how shall we rectify the problems if we don't even talk about them? You get? So, the issue is, Kagame may be whatever it is you're calling him, but you can't accuse him of creating a genocide when his people that he came to protect are the ones that died mostly in this genocide. They are not the only ones that died, but they died in huge numbers. Actually, when the president died, Habyarimana, these people went back and began the civil war again. You get? Because now we had discussed and such things had to be done. the implementations of the accord were being to be, systematically and gradually done, and then this happens. Because think about it. Like, seriously, you need to reason these things. Like, Tuvembi Okusaka, you need to reason. Because this genocide killed people in a period of 100 days. 100 days. Over 1 million people had died. 1 million people. And someone is coming and joking about these things, lying that someone created this, and that someone that created this, it was all created at the expense of, let me come and become a Superman of sorts. Listen, Kagame is not a perfect guy. But if you reason, I say reason a lot because not many people reason. Many people can talk, but not many people can reason. If you reason, how was this genocide of any advantage to him? Like, Habyarimana's death was not going to save him. It was meant to destroy him. It was meant to destroy the Accord. It was meant to destroy the Tutsis. Anyone sane understands that. You get what I'm saying? So you cannot wake up and claim that, Kagame created the genocide just because he won. So because he won, these people believe that there's no way. The funny thing is, I'm sure if Kagame had lost this war, no one would say he had a master plan. No one. But because he won, somehow he won this war, they will all come and claim, oh, he had a master plan, oh, he had this, oh, he had that. And people died. People died. And it's funny, the person talking these things is from Zimbabwe. As in, do we have to talk about Zimbabwe right now? Because if we are to talk about leadership in Africa, and you are busy criticizing leaders of other countries, and you're from Zimbabwe, like, for real, anyone else can criticize, not someone from Zimbabwe. So, I think you need to lie low and understand that this country is... Genocide is never a good thing. So spreading a message of hate and making it look like you are the next savior of the African continent is... We all want good things for our continent, but we can't get them through spreading hate. I don't think that's the best idea out there.